Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Think Future podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. Now, I am a huge science fiction fan, because you know what I love about science fiction that's awesome is if the author is really, really good, really, really good, that the idea that's in this science fiction is actually doable. It can be created. And basically what it is, it's a even though it's something that's supposed to be developed in the future during future technology that we may not have yet, there's still a way for us to look at that future technology and roll it back to today. Sort of like going through the maze backwards, which is one of our innovation uh, ways to innovate. Go through the maze backwards to today and say, if that were to exist in the future, then what do we need to build now to get to that point? How do we create something today that is the great granddaddy of that service that this science fiction author has invented in the future? Now, I'm a big fan of the Culture series, and apparently Elon Musk is a big fan of the Culture series too, because I read some of his articles about that. And he invented something, what is it called? The Neuralink, which is featured in the Culture novels by Ian Banks as, I think it's called a neural lace or something like that. And it's embedded in your skull and it reads your mind and it can create all sorts of things around you, right? So he used that as inspiration to create Neuralink. So we can all do the same thing. We can all look at some of the best science fiction out there, some of the far future stuff, and we can look at these things and go, I can see how we might be able to build the precursor to that today. Or not even, maybe if not even the precursor to that today, the precursor to the precursor to the precursor to that today, right? So that's why I love science fiction, because it can tell you so much about where the future's going. I mean, if you think about it, look at Star Trek. Star Trek, uh, we're living in a Star Trek universe today. I mean, the stuff that Gene Roddenberry imagined back in the 60s, some of it we've already done. Some of it's already in our past, a past of the early 21st century, which is when supposedly the eugenic wars took place, according to this Star Trek timeline. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking about Star Trek. I'm too much of a Trekkie for that. But yeah, so look at science fiction. If you have a favorite science fiction, I'm talking about hard science fiction too, not the fantasy science fiction-y stuff, but hard science fiction, where the author has really done a good job sort of taking where we are today and expanding it out into some far future time. And if you look at that far future time, you can see how we might be able to get to that far future time. And when you see that far future time, just come back from that far future time and say, listen, if that's going to be the world in 2100, what's the world going to be like in 2050? And then take that back to, what do I need to develop today to get to the world of 2100 that this author is imagining in his book? And of course, I would only do that if I liked the book and I liked the future that he was imagining. Forget about these dystopian novels where things are going poorly. There's, of course, that's pretty much all you get nowadays. All you get nowadays are dystopian novels where things are going poorly. Don't ask me why. I think we should turn around and switch back to a time when things are actually getting better. But you know what? That's just the times that we're in. But there's plenty of science fiction out there which talks about brave new worlds that are not dystopias, but are a better future. So look at that better future, see what you like in that better future, and invent products today that may lead to that better future. I mean, going through a maze backwards is really easy. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.